Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about a new trend that I'm seeing in conventions that I personally love, and that is ribbon games. I recently attended one of my favorite conventions, which is Colossal Con East, and there my friends and I went a little feral in both collecting and passing out ribbons. So in this video, we're going to break down what this whole mess is about. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, a ribbon game is basically a giant scavenger hunt that takes place throughout the convention. I'm not exactly sure where they have started. I tried to research it. From what I understand, it originated at some science fiction conventions and it's kind of started to bleed into other conventions such as anime cons. So the main idea of a ribbon game is that you go around the con collecting badge ribbons that have a little sticker on them. That way you can actually stick them to your badge throughout the convention. And you collect these badge ribbons through various means. Like I said before, not all conventions are doing an official ribbon game, but there are more and more conventions that I'm seeing that do have them. So for example, Colossal Con, I believe all of the Colossal Cons now do have an official ribbon game. Techo also has an official ribbon game, and there are probably plenty others, but those are just the ones that I have recently gone to. Even if the convention that you're looking at doesn't have an official ribbon game on the con website or social media, you might want to look into some Facebook groups or any social media groups of attendees going, because sometimes the ribbon games are organized by attendees that are not necessarily working for the convention. I do recommend, if you are going to a convention soon, I would look on their website, their Facebook page, or maybe even if they have a Discord server, just to see if they are organizing some form of ribbon game. Even if there isn't an official ribbon game, that doesn't mean that you cannot give out badge ribbons. It's just nice to be involved in an official one just to make friends and make more opportunity to have some ribbon fun. It's becoming one of my new favorite things to do at conventions because it's great for meeting new people and just having some really cool con experiences. So let's say you find a convention that is doing a ribbon game and you want your badge to look something like this. So you're probably asking yourself, how do I get these ribbons? And the answer is that it is different every time. The way you earn each ribbon is often very different, which is really the fun in it all. So for example, some people give their ribbons completely at random. They just pick random people that they see throughout the convention and they will go up to them and say, hey, here's a ribbon. So these are typically just pure luck. So an example from Colossal Con this year, somebody gave out these cat distribution system ribbons, and that ribbon was completely random. My friends and I were just standing in Artist Alley, we were talking, and somebody just came up to us and said, hey, here are ribbons, have fun. Another example from Colossal Con this year was this ribbon right here. And that was because we were standing in a long line to get to a table. That was the only reason. We were just standing there doing nothing, and people came over and they gave us ribbons. Now, some ribbons you actually do have to perform some kind of task in order to get it. These tasks can vary in difficulty and complexity. To give examples of ribbons that are not completely random, but also not very challenging to get, I'm going to talk about the ribbons that I gave out with my friends this year at Colossal Con. So the first one that we gave out was this Cells at Work ribbon. So we had a cosplay group going. I was Macrophage. We also had a Commander T-Cell and a Basophil. And the challenge to get our ribbon was basically just interact with us. So some people actually did come up to us because they knew we were giving out ribbons because we were a part of the official ribbon game. So they did ask us for ribbons. But we also gave them to people who stopped us for photos or gave us a compliment on our cosplays. We even actually gave them just to some staff members who were working really late at night and they just seemed like they needed to pick me up. So that one was very simple, just basic interaction was what got you this little ribbon here. Now the other ribbon that I gave out with my friend was this My Chemical Romance ribbon. And so on that day, my friend and I were cosplaying the background dancers from the My Chemical Romance music video Teenagers. So if you've never seen that music video, in the background there are dancers that are wearing red and white cheerleader uniforms and they're wearing gas masks. So that was the costume. We weren't sure if people were going to understand the reference or not. Shockingly, people did. without telling them. But we specified in the ribbon game rules for our ribbon that you had to come up to the red and white cheerleaders wearing gas masks, and you had to tell us what your favorite emo song was. So not too challenging, especially because we would tell people that we do not question your definition of emo. Like that somebody could have told me that the Bluey theme song was emo to them, and I would have said sure, and I would have given them a ribbon. Now those two ribbons are obviously pretty easy to get, but some of them are a bit more complicated and challenging. For example, this bright green ribbon right here, that was an involved challenge. For that ribbon, the ribbon dealers that were giving those out, they were wearing exclamation point headbands, making it look like that they were an NPC that had a quest for you, like in an RPG game. And so when you went up to them, you said, hey, I would like a ribbon. They said, okay, but you have to complete a quest first. And they had this little baggie, and then you would reach in and pull out a piece of paper and it would give you a quest. So for example, my quest was to take a picture of myself with a donut. So in order to complete that quest, I had to leave the quest man, go across the convention center over to the lobby where the restaurants were, and I remembered that there was like a milkshake statue in front of one of the restaurants that had a donut on top of it. Took a picture with it, then had to go all the way back, find the quest man again, showed him the picture, and then I got my ribbon. And these are just a few examples. How you get ribbons really just depends on the ribbon dealer. So the person giving out ribbons, they decide your fate. While we're talking about getting ribbons, I do just want to talk about some etiquette when we're playing the ribbon game. So you do just want to keep in mind that most of the time the people that are giving out the ribbons are attendees to the convention. They're not really working the convention. So you don't necessarily want to bother somebody for a ribbon if they seem off duty. So what I mean by that is kind of similar to the approach that most cosplayers take when you're asking for photos, and that you don't want to go up to a ribbon dealer and ask them for a ribbon if it's very clear that they are taking a break from the convention. So if you see a ribbon dealer that's off to the side eating or drinking, or if they are heading in and out of the bathroom, that's not the good time to ask somebody for a ribbon. Also keep in mind that a ribbon dealer does not actually have to give you a ribbon. Now, don't get me wrong, 99.9% of the time, if somebody is giving out ribbons and you come up to them and ask them for a ribbon, they are going to either tell you how to get the ribbon or give you the ribbon. But just keep in mind that sometimes people need to actually save their ribbons for specific events, whether it be for just saving some for friends, or maybe saving it for a cosplay meetup that's happening later, or it could just be that they're running low. Maybe they didn't order as many ribbons as they thought that they needed. So if you ask somebody for a ribbon and they politely tell you that they cannot give you one, don't get salty. There are plenty of ribbons to go around. Other ribbons are out there, so just move on. Again, most of the time, if you go up to a ribbon dealer and ask them for a ribbon, they're gonna let you in on the challenge or whatever it may be, and you're gonna have a good time. But just keep in mind that ribbon dealers are people. Oftentimes, if cons are running official ribbon games, you can find a ribbon catalog online that'll actually show you all of the different ribbons that are officially available through the con. It'll often show you a picture of the ribbon and also give you a description of where, when, and how to get that ribbon. So that's a great resource to look at before you go to the convention. Two other great places to get ribbons when you're at the convention are ribbon meetups. So sometimes if cons are doing official ribbon games, there will be ribbon meetups that are just trading events basically. And the other good opportunity would be cosplay meetups or cosplay photo shoots. Another spot that is more common to find ribbons as well now is Artist Alley. So sometimes you can find staff members giving out ribbons, or artists will be selling ribbons. So I've seen artists sell ribbons outright where you can just purchase the badge ribbons, or I've seen them be like free gifts with certain purchases. So that covers a lot of ways of how to actually find ribbons and earn ribbons throughout the convention, but you might also be wanting to participate and give out your own ribbons as well. So if there is an official ribbon game for the convention, take a look at Facebook groups or Discord servers for those, because many times they will do group orders. So that is how my friends and I actually did these ribbons. We designed them and then we sent all of our information to the group order, and we actually got a slight discount ordering that way. What's also nice is that because we went through the official group order, our ribbons were featured in the ribbon catalog for everyone to see clearly when, where, and how they can get our ribbons. Now, if there isn't an an official ribbon game, or let's say you missed the deadline, you can absolutely go solo and order your ribbons yourself. There are quite a few websites that do them. I have two that are very reliable, and that would be Marco Promos and Ribbons Galore, and I will link both of them in the description. I will also link a video tutorial on how to make a vector design that you would need to upload to the ribbon company to actually make your ribbon. My friend Caitlin actually did the vector designs for these, so shout out to Caitlin, she did an amazing job. And I know that she actually used that tutorial and she said that it was very easy to follow and very easy to do. Now, when it comes to designing your ribbon as well as your challenge for getting the ribbon, again, it can be about anything. So get creative and just have fun with it. I have seen ribbons relating to specific fandoms, I've seen meme references, I've seen very niche references that I do not understand at all, and all of it is great. And of course, for your challenge, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want, but also use your brain. Don't do something that's gonna break con policy and get people kicked out, or also make other attendees feel uncomfortable and unsafe. So use your brain. I do really hope that this video was helpful in you getting started in either collecting ribbons at a convention or possibly giving out ribbons at a convention. Ribbon collecting at cons is becoming a really fun thing to do, so I really hope this video inspires you to take part, whether you are a feral collector or if you want to join in on the fun and deal out ribbons. And that brings us to the end of the video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Any resources that I talked about earlier will be listed in the description box below. And you can also let me know in the comments if you've ever participated in a ribbon game, or if you haven't and now you're interested. Also, if you're interested in seeing more con and cosplay related content, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you want to see some more updated crafting updates from me, you can head on over to my Instagram. I post a lot more often there, showing you my work in progress of my most recent cosplay build. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.